Hello, fellow engineers. Welcome to another episode of the survival series on Triton. Yes, I know, it's not the usual format. You cannot see me, and we are already in action, welding some stuff. What is this? Well, it's a lighting platform. Yeah, not something like the one for the rover, but something like a little bit more over-engineered, I should say. So in theory, this thing should merge to the same structure on the other side and then move up. But I scrapped this idea because it didn't work well. So this is the alternative idea. And I have scrapped also this idea. This instead seems to be a better idea. There are hinges on the wall that moves that structure, and this piston moves along with it and also have another hinge. So as it rotates downwards, the piston extends and moves the platform accordingly. Let me show you. Okay, so now I have merged the structures on both sides, and as you can see, it's like two rows of armor blocks, and they move like so. So these two rows of blocks will become like a platform, and they will move up and down any ship that lands on it. So it has to be quite strong, but this version have its own problems. Anyways, let's finish building the platform and let me show you what the problem is. Whoopsie. Okay, so the arrangement or the layout of this platform have to change anyways, because I'm planning to merge to the base this platform once it's up or down, so I have to avoid the blocks that are not merge blocks to merge with the rest of the base. So this structure have to change somehow. But for now, we just want to finish it and fly the ship on top of it and see if it can lift a heavy ship. That's what happens when you play with strong forces. Anyways, let's continue. Okay, one more test. Now the two rows are connected, so is one single structure or subgrid, and it seems to be moving fine. Let's bring it back. So let's finish building the platform. Oh, okay, there is a problem. So apparently the problem was just the strength of the pistons. This should fix the issue. Yet it presents us an additional challenge. As you can see, it's not given that one side lift up at the same speed as the other. So this has to be addressed somehow. And you already have an idea, but I'm not sure it's ideal. Let's try to implement it. Anyways, the hinges with pistons seems to be working fine. It lifts quite a number of blocks. As you can see, it reaches almost half the height of the base. So it meets the requirement I have for this idea. You can see now I have already added the missing blocks and it's already a single platform. Now what I'm thinking is to add another series of hinges with pistons, but below the platform and oriented into a different axis. So let me finish this part and show you how it ends up being like. Alright, let me merge this, connect this to the hinge. Just a few final touches. like the minimum and the maximum angle of this upper hinge. Okay, let me see if it's enough. Nope, a bit more. A bit more. Come on. It's 30. It's 30 degrees. I know now. Okay, it should be enough. Let's try to connect. Oh yeah, I need to extend the piston to the maximum length. It was too short. There. Attach. Done. Okay, now I have to repeat the same thing for the other four sides of the platform. But why not? Let's try it with just one. See if it works. It seems to be doing fine. Great. Let's continue with the rest. It is so cool and I want to see it again from another perspective. And as you can see, it stays perfectly horizontal because we have now two different axes moving things up and down. Let's move it backwards to see if it works. And it seems to be everything all right. So as it looks that everything is working fine, we might build on top of this, like add some detailing. So let's bring this ramp back down and let's add a ramp so that we can access it without using jetpacks. So let's add this ladder so I can walk up nicely, and if I raise it I can fly and jump on top of it. Fantastic. Now I had to make a slight modification. I had to move backwards these pistons because otherwise the ramp got stuck sometimes. So let's modify this. Okay, thank you robotic arm for now. We are going to rebuild this thing. But before anything, let's first check if it moves back up. It does. Fantastic. No problem. Now we have to modify some parameters to make it run smoother, like this, and repeat the operation for all the hinges and pistons related. So let's continue adjusting the angle until it stops right where it is right now. Here it should be good enough. Let's attach the head. Fine. And let's repeat the operation on the four angles of this ramp. Parameters, parameters, parameters. A lot of parameters to set up to make this thing work. Fine. The reward would be to see this ramp move smoothly as it is right now. Hopefully it will happen even with the ship on top of it and with the merge blocks, because I want to merge them once it reaches the top level and the bottom level. You know, because I want to do like that. And actually, let's start working on that. I will have to remove these spotlights and place right here the merge block. Piece is falling down. Okay. So one of the merge blocks goes here, has to have the merging face forward like so. Let's weld it. And then the other merging block for the lower level goes here. Okay, let's move the platform upwards. We will build the part of the platform that merged to that other block, something like this. And before actually merging it, we will lower it and see if it matches the face on both sides, lower and upper. So now it should merge on the top level, and it worked. Now you may have noticed that it made like a slight jump because it actually merged before it reached the top level, and this is not good, believe me. So we need a sensor that turns on the merge block only when it reaches the final position, so to speak. And there is also another thing. As you can see, we have reached the top level, but the two blocks are not exactly in the same position, and this is because the maximum extent of the pistons is not enough. This might be a problem, but let's see if it works anyways. Okay, it's a moment of truth. It seems to be working as expected. Still making a slight jump, but hopefully that won't be a problem. Well, at least it merged. Ooh. It jumped back. That's not good. Okay, let's move on and we will see how we will fix that problem. So what we are going to do next is to move this ship over the platform and see if it can lift it and merge onto the top level, because for now we cannot merge onto the lower level because the way I've built the platform. As you can see, those blocks would merge to the floor if I do so. So that would be just a temporary version of the platform. I will have to replace the blocks later on. Might have done that right away, but I don't remember why I didn't do that. And yes, I'm also welding those blocks, but that's for a reason. The thrusters might damage those blocks, some built blocks, because they have less resistance. So we have to weld at least the part of them where the thrusters would eventually make some damage. Okay, I have welded enough blocks, I think, to avoid the platform being destroyed by the thrusters. So it's time to make our test. Let's find a convenient position, like here, or maybe here. No. Come on, let's respect security measures. Here it's the right spot. So I'm taking control of the ship. I have to turn on the thrusters, unlock the landing gear, and then we can move the ship. It's the moment of truth. Move it up, then forward. Let's be delicate, avoiding damaging the ramp beforehand. Need a bit more. We are almost on top of it. Okay, now we can lower it down. Okay, I think we have touched down. We can turn off the engines and lock it again onto the ramp. Now it's time to move the ramp up and see what happens. Let's hope that nothing destructive happens. But I have a lot of saves, so yeah. Ooh, it seems to be working. The platform seems to be moving horizontally and it's not locking. Now it merged. I don't know what's going on. So I will manually unlock it, see what happens. It's lowering, but is shaking a lot. And actually got stuck. Very interesting behavior. So let's try something. Let's detach those heads and see if it... Boo! Destruction! That's not good. I hope no one is bothered by this, but I prefer to reload instead of repairing. So we have reached the end of this episode, and as you can see, it's getting a bit complex to build this ramp. Yeah, not very smooth. So in the next episode we will continue working on that. Hopefully we'll find a way to make it more stable and less prone to those kind of accidents we have just seen. Bye bye.